Hi, kids. Before the show gets started here, look, I don't even have the lights on. And there's my suit. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you already kind of read this story. Or maybe you didn't, because, yeah, not all of you who follow me on Twitter read my stories. So I had this dream that I was sitting in a cafe in L.A., and right here in front of me, empty table, and then at the next table is the love of my life, Patricia Arquette, and her ex-husband, Thomas Jane, sitting with his back towards me. So, I'm looking over there, and she's looking around the restaurant at various people, looking at me, sees me, and at some point, I'm like eating my sandwich or whatever, and she comes over, and she's like pregnant, like out to here, and she like lights up a cigarette, and she's smoking, and I'm like, Patricia, it's 2003. We don't get pregnant and smoke. And she doesn't say anything, and I'm just looking at her. She's got lipstick like this, red. I'm looking at that, and then all of a sudden, I'm eating this red pepper, like out of a jar. Those sweet red peppers in a jar. Just like that. So, I'm staying at my brother's all week, and most of you know that my brother works in the movies. It turns out, I tell him this about my dream, and it turns out that he worked with Patricia Arquette on her directorial debut back in March. It'll be coming out here soon. I can't remember the Gonzo Girl. It was based on the novel by the Hunter S. Thompson's. Hunter S. Thompson's assistant for some time. Ooh, I can hear my dog up there. So anyway, my brother hears my story about my dream, and he says, well, she was smoking, but I don't think she was pregnant. Hi, kids. Welcome to the Late Night Picture Show. I'm your host, Murph the Clown. I'm back home. Tonight, we have us late 50s, maybe early 60s double feature black and white films. This one, we're going to start with, I know it's reversed from what we picked, but Dementia 13. Did they remake this? I know they remade 13 Ghosts. I'm not sure about this one. If you fail the test, you will be asked to leave the theater. Oh wait, I'm backwards here. Are you afraid of death by drowning? Have you ever attempted suicide? Have you ever thought of committing murder? These are some pretty serious questions for a movie poster. These are some of the questions you will be asked in the unprecedented D13 test to prepare you for the horrifying experience of Dementia 13. Okay, I didn't see this in the theater. You'd think this was produced by William Castle, but it's not. I did not take a test before I watched this on DVD. Let's see. William Candle, Luana Anders, Bart Patton, Mary Mitchell, Patrick McGee, Ethne Dunn. Which one is the killer? Richard, Louise, Dr. Collar, Billy, Lady Halloran? We'll get to that. Okay. Dementia 13, 1963. So we are in the 60s, both of these. Film Group Productions, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah, you probably heard of him. Okay. Again with the rich folks and their curses. This is the Halloran family. We've got us a crazy strict mother, that Lady Halloran. A sickly older brother, Johnny. His wife, Louise. A middle brother, Richard. He's the artistic one. And little brother, Billy. Little sis drowned some 7 years ago out in the pond. So we start with Johnny going crazy. Gonna row that boat to hell and back. I don't know how big this pond was. How big was this pond? It's martini time tonight. I'll let you guess if that's vodka or gin. Louise tries to stop old Johnny from, rowing himself to death. But Johnny seems to want to die. And he does, effectively cutting her out of the will. Unless, of course, she can get back to Lady Halloran in time to off her before she can change the will. Yeah. You see where I'm going here? Back at the castle, though, Louise has some difficulty as there is kind of some mayhem going on. Craziness abounding, I wrote here, including an axe-wielding maniac. Her plan seems to shift, while she's trying to stay alive, to driving the old lady mad. You all seen Gaslight, right? We all talk about gaslighting people all the time. Well, that's a movie, too. And if I haven't talked about it, it's probably in this bucket. Okay. But then this family doctor shows up, and by damn, he is going to straighten things out. Toys in the pond? Well, let's drain that sumbitch. And they do. And down at the bottom of the pond, they find a message etched in the stone. Well, as the Axeman swings away, dispatching Louise along the way, so yeah, her point becomes moot. The doctor gets closer to the truth about the family. And the seemingly preserved little sis. But you know what? I'm not so sure about this doctor. This one is, it's definitely a cut above most of what we see in this genre. Real solid storytelling by a young Coppola, and the cast is superb. I never heard of any of those folks. Suspenseful, engaging, and I really wanted to know what happens next. Maybe that's the same thing as engaging, but I did. I was on the edge of my seat. I was kind of rooting for the femme fatale there to off grandma and get some inheritance money. But, I got over it. The only real issue that I had, and maybe this was just my copy, I don't know. The family, supposedly English, or at least I got the impression that they were supposed to be English, sure sounded American to me. But I think Francis Ford Coppola is American. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be New England, where it just looks like England. I may have been duped. I don't know. Either way, not enough to ruin this film by any means. So, 4. It's a 4-ring circus tonight on the Late Night Picture Show. Feature 1, Dementia 13. I don't know if I want to drink this. I got it. Had a hair in my mouth. It's at my brother's all week, and there's 3 cats roaming around. That's not what I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to just about everything else. Okay, let's go up and get us another martini, and we're going to switch. So if y'all had gin for that one, switch to vodka, and if you had vodka for that one, switch to gin.